Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today we're going to be making postcard flip downs. It's a mess making project. It's a scrap busting project. It's 2-in-1. It's also 2-in-1 in the fact that you can use this for a journaling card, or you could glue it down on 3 sides and use it for a tuck spot on your journaling page or piece of ephemera. So you can do so many things with these. Aren't they pretty? Now, the base is a cardstock, and this little faux envelope flip down is made with copyweight paper. Now, this simply pulls up from underneath the label, and then it pulls down like this for extra journaling space. So if you make this into a pocket, you still have journaling space. If you leave it as a postcard type journaling card, you can have this spot to journal on as well as this spot. So stick around, we're going to make us a few. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to start with a cardstock base. So the base is made with cardstock. Now this happened to be a full sheet. I had a little scrap of this one, and these are approximately 5 inches by 3.5 inches. And I have rounded the corners, and I do like the way that inking looks, so I will be inking around the edges of my postcards. All right, so I've inked around the edges, and what we're going to need next, or we're going to need some strips of copyweight size. Now, your strips may be already pre-cut because you're in your scrap bin. So my strip here is pretty wide, and that's just a little too wide for my journaling card here. I don't want it to be that wide. Now, someone's going to say, well, what size are your strips? Any size you want your faux envelope to be. So these two right here are the same size, and they're, what size are they? About 2 inches. Now the length of it's going to depend on how far down you want your envelope to go. So let's see, I'm going to make it for one of these. I think the colors go better. I'm going to just pop this on maybe like this. So I'm just looking at where this would be on my card. And then if I cut it down about, remember I'm going to have to fold my points over here. So if I want that placed about right here, how about if I put it up about right there? I'm going to give it a cut right there. So getting my guillotine and giving it a snip. Then I'm going to take this, I'm going to take the 2 points, and I'm going to bring them down together. So bringing them down together like this. There we go. And then I'm going to take, and I'm going to bring this down. Now here where the points are, right here and here, that's what I'm going to use to line up on a grid mark. You can fold it down as much as you want. That's about 1/2 inch. And of course, you know, I'm going to be inking mine up. So just putting a little bit of ink on here. I want to ink my folded areas. Now this little scrap piece is not coffee dyed, and that's unusual for me. Usually everything is coffee dyed, and so I'm going to have to see if I can deal with that. I've been looking at coffee dyed things for so long. When I come upon a piece that's not, it kind of like, whoa, I don't know. I'm going to glue this down right here where the little pieces are that we pulled down from the corners to make a point. And then this is our envelope. Now this needs to be trimmed a little bit more because that's not going to fold down into there. So I'll just use my guillotine and chop it off just a little bit more, because you want this to be, well, I'm going to have to do it just a little bit more. I thought that was enough. You want that to be placed, this end of your faux fold out needs to be placed below the fold there. And so let's fold this down. That is so crooked. What happened there? Well, I had no idea what happened there. It doesn't look bad. I don't know. That's very interesting. All right, so we've got our little piece here. Now I am going to go ahead and I'm going to do this one too. I think this with this coffee dyed paper will look beautiful. So I'm going to cut this to 2 inches. I'm going to choose to pick that as my size, and bringing in my guillotine, I'm going to cut. There we are. You could even make one out of this. Nothing says that you can't do a tiny one. You could do a couple of tiny ones to change it up even more. You could do that as well. Pulling down the top part here and making a point. And then let's see if I can do this a little bit straighter. Let's pull this down like this. Whoops. That's a little bit better. And then we're going to be pulling this up. This all depends on how much of this paper of your base do you want to cover up. That's an awful lot, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to mark this, and then I'm going to trim it. I want it to be underneath my fold line, so this time I'm going to take it in a little bit like that. Yeah, it's underneath my fold. You can see right there, it's underneath the fold. So I'm going to be inking this up, and we're going to be combining everything together. Look at all the ones that I've already prepped. So this scrap busting mask making session, you can prep like this, and then all you have to do is glue them together and do a little bit of decorating. So I think that is great. So let's grab this one back. These are the 2 that I have not prepped. We're prepping these together. And because I love that look so much, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink this up. Now this is the frayed burlap ink, and I like it better than the vintage photo that I used to use all the time because it's not as yellow as the vintage photo. The vintage photo is very yellow. This one isn't at all. It's not yellow at all. Look how blue that looks. I think that's interesting that the inside of the top of my pad, it looks blue. But it's not blue when I put it on my paper. So very interesting, right? And I think I want to just run this on just a little bit for a little heavier look. I do like heavy inking. All right. I'm going to glue my flaps down right here. So adding my glue here and here and pulling them down to make my faux envelope. And then it's going to sit on here like this. Now I'm going to need to have some type of closure on this, or it's just going to pop up. So I've got my label box here, and I need a label. Let me see where I can put this. I need a label that is going to go across this so that I can put it on, and you're just going to catch the tip so that you can take this out and then stick it back. Okay, so that's what the label is for. Now, if you don't have a label, you can just cut yourself a little strip that will fit right there in that area. See, that one's a little big for my liking. I'm going to look for a smaller one like this one. Okay, I've got my two labels. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down now. Adding my glue to the back of my faux envelope pull down, I guess is what we're calling it. And I'm going to position it over here in this part, only because I like all this white. I think that looks real pretty. I'll put this back on so that I don't dry out my ink. Let's add this one, and once again, you can mass make these, and then you can just have an assembly line and glue on the pieces as you go. For instance, we've glued those on. Now I can glue this one on, and you could make a lot in no time at all. Maybe about right there. Okay, and then there's this one. And add this on here like this. Popping it on. Quick and easy, you guys. Use up your scraps that you have and get your ephemera stash built up. It really is nice to have on hand, especially now that the holidays are going to be coming just around the corner, and maybe you are going to make gifts this year for people. And I'm going to put it on this side because I want that sunflower to show. So you can pop these on either side, or even maybe in the middle if you want. And I'm going to do this one. So what I was saying about your ephemera is that if you get yourself a stash buildup, when you decide you want to pop together a journal, you will have some things pre-made that will make your journaling creation, design go so much faster, and then you will be able to make more things to be giving to your friends. I'm going to add my glue right here, just to the ends right here, and I'm going to glue that down. Now see, it will just tuck in the flap, and then that will just hold that flap secure. I want this darker one. I know I had them paired up, but I'm sure that they will be interchangeable. I hope you don't mind this mask making session. I haven't done one like this before. I hope that you're enjoying it, and that you're getting some ideas. Let's pop this one on there. So I've already inked these up, so I don't have to take the time to do any inking on these labels. Now these labels are from, I think they're from Tracy Fox, or they could be from J. Lee Lou. I'm just not sure. My labels are kind of mixed up, and labels are extremely similar. So I'm just not positive on exactly whose labels belong to who. But you can get labels lots of places. And like I said, if you don't have any labels, you can cut yourself a little strip and make yourself some type of closure, because that's what this is about. It's a decorative closure, quick and easy. All right, so we've got those all completed. How wonderful is that? Now the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to bring in my postage stamp, my Stays On Black. Let's get this opened up. There we go. And I'm going to grab my stamps. Now these are my father's stamps, and these are truly vintage glassine bags. They're even altered in color. They're so old. So let's see. Ooh, here's a pretty green one. That green one's pretty on there. I'm going to just select some stamps for our, that one's pretty on there. For our pieces here, I have some blue here. There's this blue. There's a darker blue too. Let's see here. I think that maybe this darker one. Yeah, I like that. There's one that we put it on the other side. Well, I'm just going to take liberty and I'm going to pop on some on the other side. I thought I had some brown. No, I don't have any brown. So let's see here. Could use this green that's sitting here. Why not? Why not use that green? This one here. Is this a brown one? Some people don't like me going through and not being all prepared. Well, and then there's others that enjoy watching me select. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard spot on if you're one of those people that likes to watch me select, or if you're one of those people that fusses at me because I'm not prepared. So I kind of did a little bit of both. I prepared my cards, and now there's the one that's on the other side. Now we're just finding some things to go with our cards. So I don't know what to say. I can't please everyone, I guess, but man, some people do fuss at me. And I don't know really what to say about all that. All right, here's this, and I think I'm going to put the green one on there. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to quickly run my sponge on the stamp, and I'm going to glue this down like this. And I'm not going to torture you and do all of them. We'll just do a couple here. And what I want to do is I want to grab my postage stamp and I stamp it on. Maybe something like that. And then I'm going to stamp this, maybe something like that. Then I have a dish, and it is full of pieces of lace scraps. Different types of scraps of lace. Just little pieces, and I thought this would be perfect to use up your scraps of laces, and maybe even fabric. Fabric would work on that too. Oh, I think that's pretty on there. So I'm going to add my glue. Now I'm using hot glue because it's quick and easy, and it's really, really great for making videos. Because once I glue it down, then it just stays. Let's at least do one more. How about that one that we worked on together? What happened to that one here? This one. I just find this one to be very elegant. That stamp's been through an awful lot there, but it still has the paper from when it was taken off of the letter. It hadn't been removed from the stamp yet. remember my father had them all over the counter in the kitchen sometimes when he was removing the paper from the stamp. Okay, now let's put this on. I'm anxious to see how this one turns out. I think I just want that on there. And I'm not sure. I think it's because there's a line right here that makes me like this piece. And it's just a little scrap of lace. Just like that. And that's really all that needs. You guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.